Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 Experiment video. Today we're doing the Ultimate Combination Challenge as we're combining the two Super Bowl teams, the NFC and AFC champion, the Philadelphia Eagles and New England Patriots, which are playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below your Super Bowl prediction. Also, this team should be pretty effing awesome. I mean, obviously combining the two Super Bowl teams into one and seeing how they do. Now, if the two teams that actually make it to the Super Bowl, if you combine them together, take their best players and put them into one team, and that team doesn't win the Super Bowl, that shows you how stupid Madden 18 actually is. But this team is pretty insane, so judging by the team, they should win the Super Bowl. But with that said, boys, hopefully you do enjoy today's experiment video. If you do, let me know by dropping a like. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes. Like I said, be sure to leave your Super Bowl prediction in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. And also let me know any future experiment ideas you do want me to do on the channel. And I am going to be finishing the divisional combination videos next week. So if you have been looking for that, they will be coming out next week on the channel. But with that said, let's go over this team and show you how good it actually is. Obviously, at quarterback, Tom Brady's going to be the starter, but two pretty good backups in Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. At running back, we have LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi, Dion Lewis, Darren Sproles, Rex Burkhead, James White, and Corey Clement. Now, at fullback, we do have James Devlin, and at wide receiver is pretty talented as well. Julian Edelman, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Cooks, Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan, Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith, Philip Dorsett, and the rest of the guys. And if we all know, if we're all familiar with the Patriots, Tom Brady's always throwing to no-name receiver. So now he has a pretty stacked wide receiver core for the first time maybe in his career. Now at tight end, some pretty talented tight ends as well. Gronk, Zach Ertz, Martellus Bennett, Dwayne Allen, Trey Burton, and Brent Selleck. Now moving on to the O-line, it is also extremely stacked. Jason Peters backed up by Nate Solder and Tony Garcia. At left guard, Brandon Brooks backed up by Joe Thuney. At center, we have Jason Kelsey backed up by David Andrews. At right guard, Shaq Mason backed up by Stefan Wisniewski. I probably completely butchered his name. But at right tackle, we have Lane Johnson backed up by Marcus Cannon and Cameron Fleming. Now moving on to defense. On the defensive end position, we have Brandon Graham backed up by Chris Long. At right end, Trey Flowers backed up by Vinny Curry. And at D tackle, we have Fletcher Cox backed up by Tim Jernigan, Malcolm Brown, Bo Allen, and Alan Branch. At the linebacker core, we have Dante Hightower backed up by the veteran James Harrison. At middle linebacker, we have Jordan Hicks backed up by David Harris and Landon Roberts, which is actually, middle linebacker is by far the weakest position on this whole entire team. Now on the right side, we have Michael Kendricks backed up by Nigel Bradham. Moving on to the cornerback position, some pretty talented corners, but not absolutely incredible, but still pretty good. Stephon Gilmore, Pat Robinson, Ronald Darby, Malcolm Butler, and Jalen Mills. At free safety, we have the veteran Devin McCourty backed up Deron Harmon and Rodney McLeod. And at strong safety, Malcolm Jenkins and Pat Chung. Now at kicker, we have Stephen Gostkowski, and at punter, we have Ryan Allen. Now, boys, by far, I think this is the best team we've ever used in any combination video ever. I mean, it should be the case with it being the two Super Bowl teams put into one. So as always, we sim to the regular season, and the roster size was we had 80 players on the team. So the CPU did cut some players, so we have to see where those players ended up. Some pretty good players ended up getting cut off the team since it's so good. You have Nelson Aguilar ends up getting signed by the Broncos, Trey Burton to the 49ers, Cameron Fleming to the Browns. The Eagles signed Tim Williams. And we had to also see how bad the Eagles do this year since we just randomly picked the Patriots instead of the Eagles. We have to see how bad the Eagles do without their best players on their team. James White got signed to the Bucks, Calvin Pryor to the Raiders. We have Bo Allen to the Bengals, Jalen Mills to the Packers. That actually looks like it's it. I don't see any players in free agency, so maybe they just disappeared into existence. Dog, I don't know. There should have been a lot more players get cut, but I guess that's just wild. But with that said, boys, it is time to sim into the playoffs, and it's time to make our prediction. I'm going to say this team, you can never go say 16-0 because Madden's just wild. So I'm going to say this team is good enough to go 15-1. Let me know your prediction in the comment section below. In time for the moment of truth. Wouldn't it be funny? They didn't even make the playoffs. I would delete this game and throw my Xbox out the window. But looks like we do get a first round bye Looks like most of the players on offense did progress in the same on defense. Judging by that though, I'm going to say we lost 3 games. I could be wrong. My original prediction is 15-1, but we went, see, look at me, 13-3, which is wild. The best 2 teams in the NFL combined still loses 3 games. So judging by this, they might not even win the Super Bowl. Madden is dumb. It is dumb. Dog, like, who actually beat us? The Buccaneers, of all teams, beat us. The Chargers beat us, which always happens in Madden. For some reason, the Chargers always beat teams like this. And the Dolphins. The Dolphins won. We barely even beat the Jets by 1 touchdown. This game is insane. Now, let's see how we did statistically. Looks like Tom Brady did win the MVP. We had the best offense in the NFL, and we had just nothing. It just says nothing. We did have the best offense in the NFL too, so how do we lose 2 games? The best offense and best defense, but still lose 2 games. But Tom Brady did win the MVP, Russell Wilson in second, and no real surprises aside from maybe Blake Bortles in the top 10. Now moving on statistically to see how the team did, Tom did pretty good. No wonder he won the MVP. 50 touchdowns to only 6 picks, only sacked 22 times, and had 4,800 yards. Now rushing yard wise, LeGarrette Blount had 1,300 with 13 touchdowns, and Jay Ajayi had 12 touchdowns. My ADD is going to kick in because I've been sitting here thinking of how well the Eagles did, so I want to take that first before I go on because I'm not going to be able to concentrate. We did end up having the co-best record in the NFL, tied with the Saints at 13-3. See how bad the Eagles did. I'm going to say like 2 wins, maybe, tops. They actually won 5 games. That's insane. So apparently the Colts, Bengals, Jets, and Giants all are worse than the Eagles without their best players. And somehow the Browns still ended up winning 5 games in this franchise. Now back to the stats. They ended up having 3 receivers with over 1,000 yards. Alshon Jeffrey, Julian Edelman, and Rob Gronkowski. Looks like Julian Edelman led the team with 13 touchdowns. Now defensively, Jordan Hicks, the lowest overall player on this whole entire starting team, led us in tackles with 102. And we had 3 players over 10 sacks, Brandon Graham, Dante Hightower, and Trey Flowers. Now moving on to the Eagles, because I just want to see how the heck they ended up winning 5 games with like none of their best players. Their starting quarterback was Brian Hoyer, 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 picks, was sacked 53 times. Their leading rusher was Mike Gillislee, who I guess they signed, with 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, and Marlon Mack, another guy they signed, led them with 8 TDs. And receiving yard-wise, Rashad Green led them with over 1,000, and he had 6 touchdowns, and they had Stevie Johnson, the veteran who they signed out of free agency, led them with 7 touchdowns. And last but not least, defensively, Donnell Ellerbe led them with 143 tackles. They had 2 guys hit 9 sacks on the year. But with that said, it is time to get down to business and see if the 2 teams combined, the 2 teams that made the Super Bowl combined into one, see if they actually can win it in Madden 18. If they don't, I'm going to find it absolutely hilarious. And we do beat the Chiefs. Now on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and advance into the Super Bowl? And we do, and that is actually hilarious. We are taking on the Atlanta Falcons for the 2nd straight year. They didn't have the greatest year, 9-7, so we should be grabbing this dub. But really quick, I do want to see how the previous playoff games did go for the Patriots in the postseason. We got a 15-point and 35-point victory. So we're on a hot streak, and we should be beating the 9-7 Atlanta Falcons. So with that said, my dudes, advancing past the Super Bowl. Now the moment of truth. Did the Patriots and Eagles combined do the dang thing? And they did. 37-26 over the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons had their second chance, but couldn't get it done because, I mean, who could actually beat the Patriots and Eagles combined into one? But anyways, boys, that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes on today's video. Also, guys, if you did miss it, I started my new Connected Franchise series on the channel earlier today, and in honor of that, and to celebrate the new Connected Franchise series on the channel, I am going to be doing a console giveaway of your choice, and I'm going to be doing that over on Instagram. I'm going to be doing that as soon as we do hit 10,000 followers on my Instagram account. So be sure to go over to my Instagram account and follow if you haven't already. And as soon as we do hit 2,000 followers, I will be doing the giveaway and I will announce that on the channel. Once again, guys, hopefully you did enjoy today's video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like. Be sure to leave your Super Bowl predictions in the comment section below. But with that said, I will catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.